to be confronted by a harpsichord on stage for the first time. You know, people invariably come up afterwards to, to poke around. They want to see the insides. It's like an instrument petting zoo, and it's one of my favorite parts of playing concerts. It's the opportunity to share with listeners and audience members just how cool I think the instrument is, because, I mean, when I saw it for the first time, I think my jaw dropped too. The harpsichord being here it feels like a calming influence, and it's something a relationship I don't really have with the piano. I always felt that it was me versus the piano. And I remember one of my childhood memories too, playing piano for the family, the obligatory holiday gatherings. The piano would always be next to the couch where everyone would sit. And I would be terrified that they were watching my hands. It just made me really, really nervous for some reason. Most harpsichords have these, the panel comes all the way out, and people can't see your hands unless you really want them to. It's a benevolent presence. I think the whole act of getting dressed up for a concert, like, putting on your tux or your white tie and tails, it's almost like putting on a superhero's costume. Like, you are playing a different character from, the ordinary, everyday person. When you walk on the stage, you're a different person, and the audience sort of reacts and responds to that. It's like putting on armor in a way, I think. And I think that's sort of one big thing that helps get your mindset in performance mode. I think the most famous quote is Sir Thomas Beecham. He said, "The sound of the harpsichord always reminded him of two skeletons doing it on a tin roof." So that sort of misconception just pervaded the sound world of the harpsichord for 20, 30, 40 years. And only within the past 10, 15 years have performers really begun to get to the bottom of what truly expressive harpsichord playing is. And a lot of the playing techniques from the Baroque period, I think, are still in the process of being rediscovered. And composers back then, Bach, Francois Couperin, they were obsessed with making the instrument sing, making it an expressive instrument. Harpsichordists have the luxury and the curse, I'd say, of having to cart around our instruments. A pianist would a lot of times arrive at a hall and sort of be stuck with whatever they had there, for better or for worse. But we have these instruments that we know in and out. Just getting it in the space, having the instrument get used to the space too. I mean, I feel that the harpsichord, like a lot of other instrumentalists probably say this about their instruments too, cellists, violinists, that they have a personality of their own. And they respond differently to different humidity levels and climate, but also I think they have a soul of their own too, and it's as much about them being on stage as it is the performer. This harpsichord, I bought it in 2008 from a gentleman out in Omaha, Nebraska. And he had purchased it for his late wife, who was a harpsichordist. And when I was loading it up in the van, he said, "Her name is Princess. You'll discover why." She's sort of, she cuts an imposing presence on stage, but she's also finicky. You have to treat her well, and she'll treat you well. She is very high maintenance at times, but, is just a treasure. Mechanically, it's a very simple sort of machine. You press a key and there's a jack in there that plucks it. So it's like a guitar or harp that's plucked by or activated by a keyboard. As opposed to the piano, which I think when you press a key, they say there are about 80 little microprocesses that kick into effect. So I think the harpsichord sort of gives you more of a direct connection to the string, a lot more control over nuances in sound and expressivity. for years and years, I would just go after work. You know, I'd walk 2 blocks over to the Chicago Temple. The harpsichord is there in the sanctuary. So every day at 5:15, I'd practice after work. And after a while, they sort of, you know, there were just a group of homeless people that sort of came to expect, or, you know, they knew that there would always be music. And I think it was really helpful for me because the practice sessions were all almost pseudo-performances in a way. You know, there was always an audience there, and it really helped me come to terms with performance nerves and stuff like that. And it was just great to be able to share this music with, you know, these people, and to be able to play the harpsichord in such a welcoming, supportive environment. Alfred Brendel has always been one of my favorite pianists. He was describing what audiences look for in a performance. You know, they look for an escape from the banality of everyday life. They look for something sublime, and that as a performer, it really is our responsibility, our mission, or our duty to take them out of their everyday existence and deliver that sublime experience. Just taking them out of time, you know, for an hour and a half, and whisking them off to, you know, some intangible third plane.